He thought someone was following him home, but when he looked in the mirror, there was no one driving the car behind him, just headlights, red and getting closer. What if the thing chasing you is you? It was past midnight when Mark left work. The rain had started to fall in a slow drizzle, painting the streets with a dull shine. He was tired from his shift at the warehouse, his body sore and heavy. He started his old blue car and drove down the lonely road through the woods. No houses, no lights, only darkness stretching endlessly ahead. The radio played soft music for a while, then turned to static. He switched it off. The silence felt thicker than before. Then he saw it, a pair of headlights behind him. A car was following, keeping perfect distance. Mark didn't think much of it at first, but after every turn he made, the car made the same one. When he slowed down, it slowed too. His hands tightened on the steering wheel. He looked into the mirror. The headlights seemed closer now, glowing through the fog. He turned suddenly onto an old road that led to an abandoned bridge. It was the kind of road only locals knew, narrow and cracked, covered in weeds. The car behind followed. Mark's heart began to race. He pressed harder on the gas, the tires sliding a little on the wet ground. When he reached the bridge, he stopped the car and turned off the engine. The car behind stopped too, about 10 meters away. For a long moment, both engines idled in the rain. No one moved. No one stepped out. Mark's breath shook. He pushed open the door and stepped out, calling, "Hey, who's there?" No answer. He walked slowly toward the car behind. Its headlights burned into his eyes, but through the glare he saw something that froze him in place. The driver's seat was empty. The engine was running, but there was no one inside. He stumbled backward, terrified. The headlights flickered, then turned off completely. Everything went black, and when he turned back toward his own car, the other headlights flashed on again, this time blood red. Mark ran. Mark jumped into his car and sped off. The rain was falling harder now, making it difficult to see. His wipers screeched across the glass, barely keeping up. In the mirror, the red lights followed steady, cold, and silent. He tried to lose it. He took sudden turns, side roads, and even drove through a gas station parking lot. But every time, when he looked behind, it was still there. He pulled into a small roadside diner, thinking maybe someone inside could help. The place looked closed, but the lights were still on. He ran to the door and knocked hard. After a few seconds, an old man appeared behind the counter. Mark shouted, "There's a car chasing me! Please, call the police!" The man frowned and came to the window. "What car?" Mark turned and pointed toward the road, but there was nothing. The highway was empty. The rain fell softly now, and no red headlights could be seen. Mark's voice cracked. It was right there." The old man gave a weak smile. "Son, people say strange things happen near that bridge. You should head home before it gets worse." Mark wanted to argue, but something in the man's eyes told him not to. He nodded and walked back to his car, shaking. He started the engine again and drove off. The diner lights faded behind him, and just as he reached the bend in the road, the red headlights appeared again in his mirror. Mark's fear turned into panic. He grabbed his phone, but there was no signal. He slammed his hand against the dashboard. "Come on, work!" The red lights grew brighter, closer. He could hear the engine of the car behind him now, a deep rumble that didn't sound normal, almost like growling. He pushed the pedal to the floor, racing through the empty road. The trees blurred by, the rain hitting harder and harder. Then, his phone buzzed. A single text notification appeared on the screen. It was from an unknown number. "You shouldn't have left." His heart nearly stopped. He stared at the message, then quickly looked back at the road. In front of him stood a figure. Mark swerved, barely missing it. The car spun and hit the guardrail with a crash. He sat there, breathing fast, his heart hammering. When he looked up, the figure was gone. Then he saw something in the fog. A shadow standing beside the red-lit car behind him. It didn't move. It just stood there, staring. He started his car again and drove off, terrified. But as he drove, he noticed something strange. The road signs looked older. The trees looked dead, and his headlights barely lit more than a few feet ahead. It felt like he wasn't driving home anymore. It felt like the road itself was changing. Mark finally reached the edge of town just before dawn. The rain had stopped, but the air felt heavy and cold. He saw a police car parked near a small gas station and pulled over. He ran to the officer, shouting, "Please, someone's following me, it's not human." The officer gave him a strange look. "Calm down, sir, what's your name?" "Mark Turner," he said, breathing hard. "It's been chasing me all night." The officer's face went pale. "What did you just say?" "Mark Turner," he repeated. The officer took a slow step back. "Sir?" "Mark Turner died last year on the old bridge road. His car went off the edge. He was never found." Mark froze. His mouth went dry. "That's not possible. I'm right here." The officer looked at him, trembling. "Step back, please." Mark turned toward the window of the gas station. His reflection stared back at him, pale, soaked, and wrong. His eyes were black. His skin looked gray. Behind his reflection, he saw red headlights glowing faintly, and then his phone buzzed again. "It's time to go back." The reflection smiled. He didn't. Mark ran out of the station, jumped into his car, and drove back toward the bridge. He didn't know why. It felt like something was pulling him there. The road grew darker the closer he got. The air turned cold, the fog thick. The red headlights were waiting at the other end of the bridge. He stopped in the middle. His breath fogged the glass. "What do you want from me?" he whispered. The headlights blinked once, and the other car began to move forward. Slow and steady. Then he saw it, the figure stepping out of the red-lit car. It was him. Same clothes, same face, same voice. "You shouldn't have run," the ghostly version said. "You never left this place. You've been driving in circles since the night you died." Mark shook his head, crying, "No! I went home! I saw people!" The ghost smiled. "They didn't see you, Mark." The bridge began to shake. The road under his tires cracked open. Mark screamed as his car slid toward the edge. In the final second, the red lights vanished. When the police arrived the next morning, they found an old blue car crushed at the bottom of the river. The engine was still running. Inside, there was no driver, just a phone on the seat, glowing faintly with one last message: "Welcome back." They say if you drive near that bridge after midnight, sometimes you'll see red headlights in your mirror. The figures used to be red and blue. Now they look like dots. The figures used to be red. They look like red dots. A faint heartbeat in the mirror. Don't stop. Don't look back. Because the Ghost Stalker isn't chasing you. It's looking for someone who never left.